morning, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Miss Seni 2020 Official. So it's me here, Mrs. Neer, and today I will be presenting you all my chapter 17, which is the Endless Tale. So let's start with the lesson. It is in the form of a dialogue. Recall an incident where sheer presence of mind and sharp thinking bailed you out of a situation. Let's read. So, the setting in this dialogue story is the king's coach, and the characters in the story are king, ministers, storytellers, and guards. In the far east, there once lived a wealthy king who did nothing the whole day but sat on his couch and listened to stories. The storyteller says, and thus ends the story. The farmer and his wife never heard of the witch again. Bravo! Brilliant story! But as always, I have a problem. No matter how good your story is, it is always short. Can no one narrate a long, endless story to me? Ministers, go around the kingdom and beyond if need be and call for the best storytellers around. Yes, your majesty. Men and messengers were sent far and wide to invite the best storytellers for the king. The prince and the princess got married and lived happily ever after. Nice but short again. Next, please. Your Majesty, I have the right story for you. This is long and you will really love it. Long, long ago in the forest lived a dragon. But as all stories do, he's too endedly leaving the king asking for more. The stories are nice but all end. Even the best storytellers around have failed to narrate an endless story. Ministers, go around inviting storytellers to narrate an endless story of mountains and seas, birds and trees, beauties and beasts, fairies and witches, boys and girls, rags and riches. I want to hear an endless story. Go announce that the storyteller who is able to narrate an endless story will be awarded with my daughter's hand in marriage and will be proclaimed as the heir to my throne. What are you saying, Your Majesty? Your daughter's hand in marriage and the kingdom too. Do not question me. Do as I say. Also announce that whosoever comes in the hope of winning my daughter and the throne but fails to meet the requirement shall be burned to death. His cries will travel far and wide. Only those who can narrate an endless story dare try. The king's daughter was young and beautiful. Fame of her beauty travelled far and wide. With skin as rosy as the prettiest rose, hair as smooth as the smoothest silk, eyes as deep as the deepest ocean, the king's daughter was not just beautiful but wise too. Yet there was no one brave enough to take up the king's proposal at the cost of his life. Finally, a storyteller did land up in the king's court. Your Majesty, I have the perfect story for you and it is endless too. Don't waste your words, storyteller. Start with the story. But before that, let me remind you, if the story is endless, you can marry my daughter and be my heir. But if the story ends, so does your life. You can rot in hell for all I care. Yes, O king, I'm aware of your condition. Not so long ago in the mountains of the Himalayas, there lived a yak. But as all, the storyteller narrates the story for 6 months, but unfortunately, like all before him, he runs out of ideas. A good attempt to tell, but not good enough to save your life. Guards, arrest him and have him burnt alive. Let all hear his cries of pain and be warned. The storyteller is pulled out of the court by the apologetic guards in front of the silent coaches. For years, no one dares to narrate his story to the king. His daughter, too, gives up all hopes of getting married. One day, a stranger arrives at the court and requests for a meeting with the king. Young man, do you not love your life? Have you no family to return to? Why have you come here looking for death? Your concern for me, who is a stranger, is heartening. But do take me to the King, I have an endless story for him. Guards take the storyteller to the king and announce him and the coach. Ah, so you are the brave storyteller who claims to have an endless story. Yes, Your Majesty, my story indeed is endless. Failing which, you know the punishment that will be meted out to you. Yes, Your Majesty, I am aware of your condition and will accept it. Why waste time then? Start with your story. In any case, I haven't heard a story for ages now. I can't wait to hear one. In a faraway land, there was a rich kingdom. It was ruled by a just and wise king. All in the land prospered and lived happily. Nature God had blessed the fields with fertility. The corn as good as gold, the rice as white as clouds, and oh, the lentils as yellow as the sun. It was the season of corns in the field where the kingdom was attacked by enemies and the king was taken captive. The wicked new king seized upon all the corn in the country and stored it in a secret granary. The kingdom was soon attacked by a swarm of locusts. After searching for many days, they found out that all the grain was stored in the granary, but the granary was out of their reach. After further search, they found a small crevice on the other side of the granary. But the crevice was just large enough for one locust to pass through to get a grain of corn. So one locust went in through the crevice and came out with a grain. Then another locust went in and carried the corn. Then another locust went in to carry the corn, and yet another locust went in to carry the corn. Then another locust went in to carry the corn. Day after day, week after week, this total kept on saying the same thing. Weeks turned to months and soon to years, and as the locusts carried the corn out through the crevice one by one, after 2 years, finally the king said, "How much longer will the locusts keep going in and out to carry the corn? My Majesty, it has just started and they have only been able to clear a cubit of corn in the granary. There are many thousands cubits of grain yet to be cleared. Shall I continue?" "No, no, no, I will surely go mad if I hear any one of the locusts going in and carrying a grain of corn. I can't go through this anymore. You can take my daughter, be my heir, take my kingdom, but I beg all of you, do not tell me anything about those horrible locusts anymore. In fact, I never want to hear another story ever again." The storyteller smiled to himself. His patience and wit had paid him off. He had not only won a beautiful bride but also a rich kingdom. As far as the king is concerned, he never heard a story in his life ever again. Please subscribe, like, share if you found the story useful. Thank you all for watching the video. Meet you in the next video. Bye guys.